Alright, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Quise. Now, for those of you that don't know, I am a Packers fan. I've been a Packers fan my whole life, and yeah, man, I really feel like this is our season. This new season coming up. Um, Everybody gonna be healthy. Hopefully, Micah Parsons will be back and healthy around like week 8, 9, around that range. Feel me? We got a new defense, or not a defensive. We got a new special teams coordinator. That plays a huge part. Got a new special teams coordinator, and we got a new kicker, and that's been our pretty much our Achilles heel. It's been our special teams, you know. And if it's not the special teams, it's defense. Sometimes it's defense just selling throughout the game, or maybe it's just defense. You know, when we need a stop, we can't get a stop type of thing. But yeah, I'm super excited for this season, man. Offense, we're gonna be looking good. I'm already knowing we got J Love, top two, not two quarterback in the league. Receiver wise, we're gonna be good. Um, I wish we didn't get rid of Romeo. Romeo Dobbs. He's on the Patriots now. Uh, but nonetheless, we still got Mr. Golden. We still got Christian Watson, Jay Reed, and then you know, we got some more. I know we got Savion Williams and like a couple others. I feel like it can go two ways with our receivers. One, Matthew Golden, which I think this will happen. Matthew Golden will be that clear number one receiver that we need, that clear Jamar Chase, that clear Justin Jefferson, you know, for us. Or Christian Watts will have a breakout year, and he'll be that clear number one with Golden right there. For now, you feel me? It's a second season, but I think Matthew Golden will have a breakout year this season. Defensively, I like us defensively. I do. The only thing that scares me is our corners, our corner room. But at the same time, I'm confident with it. It's like when it's good, and when it's bad, you know. And the main person with that is Keyshawn Nixon. He's very inconsistent. Very inconsistent. He's not on no Kevin King level, but he's inconsistent. You know, big drive, we need to stop. A third down, maybe even a fourth down, we get the stop, and then there's a late flag. It's like, what happened? And you look at the replay and holding, you know, and it's on Nixon. So it's like, it's usually him. I like Valentine too. Valentine, he's getting there. I see the potential in Valentine. But yeah, man, super excited for this new season, and it's about to start. Preseason, I think we have a preseason game this Thursday. But yeah, preseason just started, and like football season's here, man. It's here. But we're gonna react to this video. The NFL has a serious Green Bay Packers problem by Metro Stories. Damn right.
The word for the Green Bay Packers, in my opinion, is rush. And it's rush on defense, right? Once Micah Parsons went down last year, they couldn't create a rush. I believe it's why Rashawn Gary.
That the situation with that, I feel like Micah getting hurt, it took out like it was just so demoralizing. We're like, we still were there, we still had a chance, but it took the life out of us. You know, that's the same thing as like Jordan Love getting hurt. Like if he's actually done for season ending, like, you know, yeah, we could still make it happen, but it's too much to fight through. You feel me? And then with Rashawn Gary, I felt like last season, because Rashawn Gary's nice. He's nice. He's good. But I feel like once we got Micah, because Rashawn was our best rusher, you know, once we got Micah, he kind of got pushed to the side. You know, it's like, yeah, we got Micah now, which that's, we got Micah now, you know, but it's like, I think it hit his ego, you know, because there were a lot of plays where he just wasn't putting in effort. He was very lackadaisical, you know, and I think it messed up with his ego a little bit. Because at the same time, who was it? Who had a pretty good season? I think it was Luke Van Ness. Luke Van Ness had a pretty good season, and yeah, like he. At the same time, Micah just, I mean, not Micah, Rashawn Gary, He just didn't have a good season. I think that's why we got rid of him. He just couldn't be productive as he used to, or really as we needed him to be. So we got him up out of there. But yeah.
Is now in Dallas. Offensively, the same thing.
The 2025 Green Bay Packers were a playoff team right up until they weren't. They opened the season beating Detroit.
And offensively, it's the catches. That's it. The catches. A healthy Josh is a dangerous Josh. I've been saying that. We're good with the run game. Quarterback, we're good. Receivers were good. It's just the drops, man. It's the drops. There were crucial drops in our last game. I don't even want to talk about playoffs. That was all on McManus. And special teams. But even though, those things happen, we had like 2 or 3 crucial drops on the last drive and like 2 4th downs. Maybe it was 1 4th down, but like, it was just bad, bro.
Detroit 27-13 and Washington 27-18. Back-to-back dominant wins at Lambeau that had the NFC North looking like Green Bay's division to lose. They went to Pittsburgh in late October without Aaron Rodgers playing against them for the first time in years. Jordan Love threw for 3.
Ooh, that game. Oh my goodness, that was a beautiful game. That was a beautiful game. I was gonna say though, what we need to do / work on for this season is beating up on the teams we need to beat up on, bro. We can't be in hell games against the freaking Cardinals. We can't be in hell games against the Browns and Panthers and stuff. Like that just can't be happening, bro. And then some of them we're losing, like, and that just puts us in a tougher spot. Like, we play good against the teams that we need to be playing good against, or playoff teams, right? As long as we play good, it can go hand in hand, win or loss, as long as we're playing good, right? But record-wise and even spot-wise, seeding-wise, I'm talking about, like, for playoffs, we can't be relying on this specific game just because we couldn't handle business against the Cardinals, Like, we got to beat up on the teams we need to be beaten up on.
360 yards and tied a franchise record with 20 consecutive
Tucker Kraft gonna be back.
The Packers won 35-25 in a game that felt like a statement. At 9-3-1 in early December, Green Bay was a legitimate contender. Then the season fell apart in about 3 weeks, and by the time January came, the Packers were a 7 seed, losing 31-27 in Chicago on a 4th down completion in the end zone. What happened in between those 2 moments is the story of 2025, and it's also the blueprint for what Green Bay has to avoid in 2026. The first blow landed in Week 9 at home against Carolina, a team the Packers were favored to beat by several points. They lost 16-13.
Yeah.
Got walk-off.
It was just such a sloppy game, bro. Such a sloppy game.
Field goal by an 8-9 Panthers team. And the injury news that came after was worse than the loss itself. Tucker Kraft, who had been one of the better young tight ends in football up to that point, tore his ACL and was done for the year. The Packers regrouped. They won on a 4-game winning streak, beat Detroit on Thanksgiving for the division sweep, beat the Bears at Lambeau, and got to 9-3-1, feeling like they had control of the season. Then came Denver in Week 15.
Okay, Romeo,
where they had a
man.
lead 23-14 at half and managed to lose 34-26.
This game we would have won. Injuries collapsed us. I seen it, bro. I seen it. We were good all the way up until like when did Micah get hurt? Like late 3rd. Whenever that happened, and then somebody else got injured that same game. I think like another player or 2 got injured. It just all went downhill after that. Like you could just feel it.
After the game, the news broke that Micah Parsons had tore his ACL in his left knee, and he was out for the year. What followed was a full unraveling.
We're still fighting though.
Took a helmet-to-helmet hit in Chicago the following week.
Targeting. It was not no helmet that they targeted. Bears are dirty.
And Malik Willis finished the game. Willis fumbled a snap in overtime, the Bears recovered it, and DJ Moore caught a 46-yard touchdown to win. Jordan Love sat out the Week 17 loss to Baltimore. The Packers went into Minnesota in Week 18 with their playoff spot already locked, rested their starters, and lost 16-3.
I don't know
Then
why we
they
did
went to
that, but
Chicago
hey.
in the wild card, led 21-6 in the third quarter, got outscored 28-6 in the second half, and lost. It was the fourth time in NFL history a team blew a 15-point lead in the playoffs,
We're not gonna say anything about McManus. Okay.
and it was the kind of collapse that tends to define a franchise's offseason narrative more than the actual record deserves. For all the grief that followed, though, zoom out. The Packers finished 11th in points allowed. They won 4 division games in a brutal NFC North. Jordan Love threw for 3,381 yards with 23 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs ran for 929 yards and scored 13 times. Even shorthanded, this team found ways to win through much of the year. The injuries hurt, the late season schedule caught up with them, but the core of the roster is legit, and the offseason directly addressed that. Let's start with what the Packers lost, because a few of those departures look worse than they actually are. Romeo Doubs left for New England. He was the leading receiver on the team for most of the year with 724 yards and 6 touchdowns. That's real production walking out the door. Rasheed Walker left for Carolina, which matters because the offensive line depth was already thin. Quay Walker signed with Las Vegas, which creates a hole at the communication linebacker.
I'm not really tripping off Quay. Quay is a really good linebacker. He's probably top 5, top 7 linebacker. I'm really good with run D and blitzing. But as soon as he left and went to the Raiders, he was already talking crazy. Like first day he got there, was talking crazy. All right, okay, Quay. Like
a role that he's been holding for the past couple years. Rashawn Gary also went to Dallas. Now for the context, Dontavian Wicks was traded to Philadelphia, which cleared a spot on the depth chart. The Packers will miss both Dobbs' production and Walker's presence, but neither exit is catastrophic given what comes back and what was added. Gary's departure is essentially the trade-off of having Parsons on the roster. You can't just keep everybody. Some guys have to go. The Packers also hired a new defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, who built defenses as the defensive coordinator in Philadelphia and the head coach of the Arizona
we did. I totally forgot about Gannon.
Cardinals. He's going to take over that side of the ball. He comes in alongside Zaire Franklin, a trade acquisition from the Colts.
So Zaire is replacing Rashawn Gary, essentially.
Franklin was a first-team All-Pro just a few years ago with
I
over
don't mind
150 tackles, led the NFL in the category, and should step into the linebacker role that Walker vacated. The Packers also added defensive tackle Javon Hargrave, a few-time Pro Bowler, and corner Benjamin St-Juste. Those are a few meaningful acquisitions coming in to replace what they lost. On offense, the additions are modest. Sky Moore comes in as a receiver and returner. Center Sean Ryan was extended on a 3-year deal. The draft focused almost entirely on the defensive side, which was a deliberate choice by the front office. But now let's pivot to the draft because that's where Green Bay's 2026 outlook gets interesting. The Packers entered the draft with 7 picks and came out with a class that was explicitly built for the next 2 to 3 years more than the immediate present. 2 cornerbacks, an interior lineman, a couple of edge rusher types, and a center hybrid. Nobody on this list is expected to carry major responsibility in week 1. The framing from the front office after the draft was honest about that. This was a depth-building class for a team that already has its starters in place. The cornerback additions are the most pressing. Brandon Cisse and Domani Jackson both come in to compete on the outside, where Green Bay's depth was genuinely thin after 2025. Neither is a finished product. Yeager Burton, the only offensive pick, is a center guard hybrid who the Packers see as a potential interior starter down the road and possibly a replacement for Sean Ryan if he doesn't work out long term. The edge and linebacker picks add bodies to a rotation that needs them, particularly after losing Gary and watching what happened when Parsons went out. None of this is flashy, it's not meant to be. The front office has consistently built through the draft and resisted the temptation to overload on free agent acquisitions. The 2026 class continues that pattern. The players who were hurt in 2025 are the story heading into 2026, and there's a lot of good news here if you're a Packers fan. Tucker Kraft is expected back for the start of the season. He was one of the better young tight ends in football before the ACL tear. He caught 6 touchdowns in the first 8 weeks, was a real factor in the passing game, and his presence around the short and intermediate areas opened up rushing lanes and simplified Jordan Love's reads in ways that were missing from November onward. Kraft coming back is a significant upgrade to this offense without anyone actually being added. Micah Parsons is also on a similar timeline. His ACL was in his left knee, which is a non-plant leg for an edge rusher, and the recovery process for a player of this caliber, who's been through a serious injury before, is generally a bit faster in terms of preparation and protocol. The Packers won't have a firm timeline until training camp, but assuming he's available in the first half of the season rather than being held out entirely, this defense looks completely different than it did from Week 15 onward in 2025. With Parsons healthy and Gannon installing his scheme, there's a real pass rush ability on this roster again. Jordan Love himself had the concussion and a few other minor injury situations throughout the year. He also missed time in 2024 with some knee problems as well. The physical durability question around Love is real and worth monitoring, but at 27 years old, there's no structural reason for concern. He's been consistently good when on the field. The Packers offense when Love healthy and upright has been a top 15 units. Christian Watson is the complete wild card. He's been injury prone throughout his career, fighting various things since he's been drafted. When healthy, he can be the big play threat, and the receiver room in 2026 is thin.
But Christian Watson has so much potential too, because he's like 6'4", 6'5", fast, like good route running. Like he that's what I'm saying. It can either be him or Golden this year, or they could both have a breakout year. Honestly, that would be the best option. But I feel like it'll be either one. But I could see the potential in Watson. I like Jaden Reed too, but I wish we would have kept Romeo over Jaden Reed. I like Reed, but it's just like if somebody has to go, if one of those three has to go, I'd get Reed up out of there. Romeo, he was my favorite in my eyes. He had the sure hands. Yeah, he had some drops, but he had the sure hands. He had the route running. Feel me? Watson, deep threat. He has some hands on him too, but the speed. Jaden Reed got the speed too. But again, if somebody got to go, me personally, I'd pick Jaden Reed. But we went a different route and got Romeo up out of there, sadly. But
enough that a fully healthy season from Watson would matter enormously.
Definitely.
And then there's Matthew Golden. The first-round pick from Texas had an up-and-down rookie year that the organization had been transparent about.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity there for him to go out and take, and I thought, although the season didn't end the way we wanted to as a football team, I thought that was his best performance. And I'm not even talking about, catches or yards, just the play style that we're looking for him. I thought he showed a lot of competitiveness. That touchdown he had in Chicago was pretty spectacular. So
and that should have been the game. But I'm not even going to dive into that.
You got a glimpse of what he's capable of becoming on a consistent basis.
He dealt with some small injuries throughout the year, played in 14 games, but only managed 361 yards and 0 touchdowns in the regular season. His final year at Texas, where he was extremely productive, was the justification for spending a first-round pick on a receiver for the first time in 23 years. He showed up in the playoffs, catching 4 catches for 84 yards and scoring his first career touchdown in the wildcard loss to the Bears. Jaden Reed put it plainly about Golden heading into year 2. You can tell the game is slowing down for him. He's learned to play much better. Golden himself acknowledged that his smaller size contributed to the injury issues and said he added some weight this offseason.
Good.
The receiver room in 2026 is essentially Golden, Reed, Watson, and Tucker Kraft as the primary option.
Yeah.
That is a lot riding on Golden being what the Packers drafted him to be.
I'm not worried about that though, because if he would have been, if he wasn't a rookie last season and he would have been like a sure option for us, he would have had a good season. He was open a lot of the time, and he was number 1 in separation rate or something like that. So like he gonna be good this season. I'm already knowing.
Moving to the defense, the big question with Jonathan Gannon taking over is how quickly this system can take hold in a room that's losing a key communication piece in Quay Walker and installing a new scheme simultaneously.
It's all good. We got Edge and Cooper. We don't need that.
The hire itself makes sense. Gannon's defense have been known for their ability to adapt coverage structures, and create confusion pre-snap. He's worked with good corners before, most notably in Philadelphia, and he inherits a secondary with Xavier McKinney and Evan Williams as a legit safety tandem. McKinney made second team All-Pro last year. Williams has been a star since on the team. That's a real backbone in the back end. The corner room is where the question marks are. Keyshawn Nixon is the incumbent starter and made the Pro Bowl as a return specialist, but his outside corner
he's too inconsistent and he has too big of an ego. That's Nixon's problem. He got too big of an ego.
Play was up and down last year. Benjamin St-Juste and the rookie additions in Quise and Jackson will give the defense options, but this unit doesn't have the profile of an elite secondary yet. If Gannon can scheme around that, it could work.
It's just our corners.
Exploit it early, the defense has a real ceiling. Zaire Franklin taking over inside could be an upgrade if he's close to what he was a few years ago in Indianapolis. He's 29 years old and comes with a really high reputation.
He only 29.
As a
I like
player
that.
On the field, but also as a leader in the locker room. If the Packers can rewind the clock with the older player, then this could potentially be an upgrade over Quay Walker. Javon Hargrave at defensive tackle gives the interior a real veteran presence. He's been a multiple-time Pro Bowler. His best days are definitely behind him, now entering into his mid-30s, but he gives Cannon a player who knows how to play within a system, usually won't freelance, and commands attention from guards trying to run block. What Javon will do best will probably be in the pass game, creating pressure that could open up lanes for other edge rushers. But let's go ahead and focus on what this team is going to be facing in 2026. The NFC is very top-heavy. The Rams have Myles Garrett and a Super Bowl at home. The Seahawks are the defending champions. The 49ers, hopefully, could be healthy and motivated. The Eagles still have their core. The Cowboys have an explosive offense. And don't sleep on other teams like the Detroit Lions, the Minnesota Vikings, and maybe even the Carolina Panthers. But the main four, the Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, and the Eagles, are four legitimate contenders who right now are ahead of the Packers in most assessments. And that's an honest read on the hierarchy. But the Packers have shown that they can compete with all of those teams. They swept Detroit last year, had a very tight game versus Philadelphia, went toe-to-toe with the Dallas Cowboys, and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, and in years past have shown that they could consistently compete with anybody in the league. The team has been to the postseason a few times and has been able to make a couple of small runs, and it feels like they're consistently good enough to win 1 or 2 games in the postseason, but never make that full run. But if the durability can hold up, then there is a chance that they could potentially raise their ceiling. The honest case for Green Bay in 2026 is that their floor is set by their injury luck, not their talent. The talent with Love, Parsons, McKinney, Kraft, Franklin, Golden, and Reed, plus more, is
just
legitimate.
Gotta stay healthy.
As one analysis put it, the Packers should be a solid team in 2026. They need to be great though, or bigger chances could be down the line. That's probably the right way to frame it. The window with their core is real, but not unlimited. If Parsons is healthy by week 1, the defense is one of the better units in the conference. If Tucker Kraft is back and Golden takes the jump everyone expects, the offense can match what they did in the first 9 weeks.
We got to be consistent on all levels, obviously, but we got to be consistent with beating up on the teams we need to be beating up on. And yeah, bro, it all comes down to being consistent. You know, we can't be scared. Can't be scared. I know Matt LaFleur was saying, I'm letting Jordan Love cook this year. You know, let him cook. So that should be a good thing. I like LaFleur as a coach. Last season was like an interesting season. For him, I feel like, because a lot of people were turning on him. Oh, fire him, get him up out of there. It's LaFleur's fault. It's like, bro, we're not gonna get any better than Matt LaFleur. Feel me? Like, I don't want to get rid of him and then have some random coach. Like, that's like we gotta stick with it, you know. But me personally, I like LaFleur. And a big thing was like being predictable at times, or conservative, you know. Third downs, got the, you know, famous inside zone. Or first down, we're throwing it deep. Second down, it's a predictable run. And now we're at a 3rd and 8. Now we're at a 3rd and 9. Now we're at a 3rd and 10, 3rd and 5. You know, and then we can't pick that up, or we just throw it deep again, and then that's a quick drive. You know, that's a quick 3 and out in under 30 seconds. Like, so we just gotta not be too conservative and be consistent. Continue being consistent. Feel me? Beating up on the teams we need to be beating up on, because we could really do it. We could really do it.
Of 2025 rather than the final 7. If Love stays upright and Gannon's scheme quickly picks up, this team can potentially win the NFC North and make some noise in January. Sure, it's a lot of ifs, but there were also a lot of ifs last year too, and at one point the Packers were 9-3-1. Green Bay is still here, they're still extremely relevant, their core is intact, the scheme is refreshed, and the young players who need to step up know what the expectation is. In a conference full of contenders, the Packers are right in the conversation, and they've earned the right to be. But if you guys did like the video, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button.
W video by Metro Stories, bro. Let's look at some comments, bro. The Denver game during our 23-14 lead. I was thinking, yes, bro. Are we legit? Are we legit? Is crazy. Yeah, we also lost key players in that game. We were winning with Watson until he got injured. Yeah. And then Jay Reed got injured right after. He didn't come back until later. By that time, in the following games, we were a very injured Packer team. Even with Micah not in the picture. Yeah, that is the reason the Packers lost in the end of the season, along with their variables, such as kicker that couldn't kick a damn field goal for his life, and an awful special teams coach. Yeah. You know what Edwin Cooper mentioned is crazy? Yeah. I really hated how the season went from great halftime, manageable Watson injury to lost person in the span of 15 minutes in the Broncos game. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Yeah, W video. I can't wait for this season. I'm excited for football in general, but you know, also for my Packers. But yeah, man. We out the jams. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.